What's up? I'm Majin Kenji. This is Faulty. Welcome to Sunday Night Bottom Line, where we're gonna review some anime shows, probably some cartoons, some comic stuff, things within the nerd community.
Because that's the best stuff to do.
Yep, we're gonna come at you every week with a new review.
Yep.
We're gonna start off with Dragon Ball Super this week, number 118. Honestly, start off with just the scaling between the battles between the Namekians from Universe 6 and our fighters Gohan and Piccolo from Universe 7. There's also Universe 2 versus Goku by himself, it seems.
Well, initially.
At first.
That's what we were expecting at the beginning of the anime.
Yeah.
I think the scaling in this episode was actually better than it has been the rest of the tournament. At least they gave us a justifiable reason as to why they are X amount of powerful. I'm talking about the Namekians, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Well, yeah. I mean, they touched on. I thought that there was something different about these Namekians from Universe 6. I mean, to begin with, we already know that Namekians are awakened people, almost like god-like people. That's why Kami and Dende were chosen, for Earth's god. But to be in this tournament, you have to have a pretty high scale of power.
Don't they have two classes? They've got the clerics, essentially.
Yeah, the gods, pretty much. The people that can make Dragon Balls and stuff like that, and the healers. And there's the warrior race of Namekians, people like Piccolo and Nail.
Yep.
The thing about that is that even with that, Nail is one of the strongest, Namekians of, our universe. But during the Frieza saga, he got snuffed by level 1 Frieza. So you got to think, if these Namekians on the stage right now can keep up with the likes of like Frost and, even Goku and even Gohan and Piccolo right now as they stand, they've got to be pretty powerful, and there has to be something different about them, that separates them from the bunch.
Well, we saw exactly why. It's that they done the aforementioned, go ahead and retcon this, but the fusion between multiple Namekians, but they said it was as volunteers, which was important. So it wasn't, at least the way I perceived it, not the entire race that did it, but it was probably a lot of the higher class people, and that's that. Now, it's another thing important to really understand the weight of that decision is, I might be wrong, but I think that that fusion can't be undone.
No, it's permanent. According to Nail and Kami themselves, they will not be able to unbind their bond. So it's literally that group of Namekian people is just them. The only way they'd be able to separate is Dragon Balls, I assume.
Probably. I know Kami at one point.
Yeah, I
don't remember exactly how that happened.
The only reason Kami split into two people is just because of the inner struggle inside of him between good and bad.
Right, that's what it was.
That's why
he Nail split. Doesn't have.
Yeah, most other Namekians, they don't. They live peaceful lives as farmers, that's what they are. But it was just that set off little alarms in my head, and then it come to find out, Piccolo starts sensing, something different about them, and he starts to sense more people there, more of his people. So that's where he starts to see, the visions of many different Namekians standing there. It's not just one.
He can sense all of their energies. That's pretty much how I saw it.
Yeah.
Which was really, really cool. I think that, considering this, Keflo was a great fight. Make no mistake. But the scaling was way off. There's no way a Super Saiyan 2, fused or not, should have stood up against Super Saiyan Blue. There's no way.
Even with Goku that fatigued, but at this point, even Toriyama himself has said, just throw power levels out the window. There's no way to, scale these things anymore.
And that's pretty much how I take it. You hear a lot of people complaining about the scaling and everything.
Power levels.
I think at this point, Toriyama's like, just enjoy the fight. Because it was an awesome fight.
It was an amazing fight. It was great.
But scaling was, and it was kind of funny if you actually look at Piccolo. If you want to even go the scaling route with Piccolo, he wasn't as powerful as the Namekians. He wasn't as powerful as Gohan. But he did what Piccolo does best. Strategy. Mm-hmm. He won through strategy. And so did Gohan, trusting each other. When he So I also think that this will mark with Piccolo. Piccolo can finally see Gohan as a real man.
Well, as a warrior.
Well,
Yeah.
well, same thing to him.
Well, yeah, well, pretty much, yeah. It's almost like a rite of passage to him. But yeah, he's noticing that Gohan's not, that
Whiny little kid.
You still need more discipline. You're not there yet. You're still, a crybaby little punk. Gohan's come a long way from being that whiny little 4.5-year-old that wanted to be a good scholar.
Which he already is.
He done been past all that. The dude wrote a book on ki.
Yep. Which I'm really hoping they do an arc on that where everybody starts using ki on the planet.
Something. Give us some kind of scientifics behind that. But
isn't Earth the only planet where that doesn't happen? I mean,
yeah, pretty much. Almost everyone else knows how to manipulate their own energy except Earth.
At least to some degree.
This is why aliens won't visit us.
This is why aliens won't visit us. And if they do, they try to kill us. Especially in Dragon Ball.
But besides that, yeah, it all comes from, pretty much Gohan always relied on someone to step in Dragon Ball Z to save him, to pull his butt out of anything.
He was terrified. It was the human in him, if you think about it.
It is. He is Chi-Chi's son. But, I mean, she burns with the damn fury of 1,000 suns, too.
Yeah, but she's the abusive spouse in their relationship. Literally.
There's a reason Goku's afraid of her.
Yep. Strongest human. Strongest human woman.
Yeah.
Rather.
But in any case, this time it was roles reversed. Gohan saved Piccolo.
Exactly.
Which was nice for a damn change, and I got to see my favorite attack of almost any Namekian.
Special Beam Cannon, that's your favorite?
Yeah. I like the way he says it in Japanese.
Can you say it?
It sounds really funny. Team 4-Star made fun of it so hard. Oh, the hell with it. Special Beam Cannon. But it was really cool to see that because it was almost a callback to whenever Piccolo and Goku went through that mess with Raditz. I almost mouthed, the whole thing with him as soon as he started charging it up. And as I saw that Namekian flying at him, then all of a sudden, I remembered that the special beam cannon is instantaneous. If you look it up, they hit it right on the mark, and it made me so happy.
But he took that first hit from that. I mean, obviously it wasn't fully charged.
Yeah,
but he took that first hit like a champ.
He really did.
Just kind of scratched him, and he bounced right back.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get to Gohan redoing everything. Thought that action sequence was fantastic. Animation was great. It obviously wasn't like Ultra Instinct Goku level, but they definitely put a little bit more effort into it. There was definitely a lot more movement and detail.
Mm-hmm. Let's get into Universe 2. Okay. I understood the girls transforming into what they did, even if they did become into some crazy fat hoes. But, dude,
everybody hates Rebrand. Let's remember that.
The dudes transforming into the exact same thing. Okay, I can understand.
That was a double-edged sword for me.
And it's all like, oh no, dudes can't do that. No, they can. It's fine, but it seems a bit repetitive at this point. I'm not even going to say, oh, it was wrong. It was just a bit repetitive.
They recycled it.
It was just annoying. I didn't like Rebrand. I didn't like any of the rest of Universe 2 and this whole beauty crap. I was over Cleopatra and her shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think they knew that everybody hated Rebrand. Everybody did.
They had to.
They had to. The series has been going on long enough that it's not like they made all these episodes ahead of time. They're making them week by week. They may be a couple weeks behind, but they've heard everybody's complaints. And the same thing's coming out of Japan. Japanese people hated Rebrand. Americans hate Rebrand. Everybody hates Rebrand.
It was a total troll on Toei's.
It was like, oh, we're finally done with her. And, oh, hey, by the way, here's a bunch of male versions of them. Like,
right?
Here's
the RuPaul version. No offense to RuPaul.
We were done. We were satisfied. And a little part of me died inside when I saw her again. I was like, why?
Yeah, really. I was just like, dude, No,
Just stop.
No, I was just
Stop
like, I'm ready for
trolling.
this to be over, and just everyone else. I mean, but the thing to come out of that is development between of Goku. At the same time, Gohan's getting his development over here with Piccolo, and we get a different version of the father-son Kamehameha.
I thought the same exact thing. It was like, oh, it's kind of cool. We have this father-son Kamehameha, but at the same time, they're standing on their own.
Yep, they are. They're
Gohan stood on his own.
They're both making their own stances with their own integrity. It was just a great moment in Dragon Ball history, especially for the Sun family. The comic relief with Android 17 and 18 was just it was ridiculous in between the midst of all these stupid ass transformations and like sailor crap, but it was actually really funny, and it was really great to see 18 and 17 embarrass even Krillin of all people. This is the same man that sang that Puppy Dog song during the first Broly movie. Yes, Sonny. Yeah, Sensei. I remember the song. Sir.
But I think all that beyond, the action sequence one's great. And one thing I really did like about that fight is that they brought out a whole new ability. They took what Rebrand was and they actually added something to it. And it actually was something enjoyable, something that we haven't seen before. There was the gravity heart, the weight of love.
The weight of love, yeah.
I thought that was fantastic. I thought that it worked well.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool representation of such a strong emotion, which is what that universe is trying to project. I guess all you need is love. The whole Beatles thing.
Yeah, but something that people have been commenting on is the fact that love can be a double-edged sword. It can be, it can set you free and make you more powerful, but it can also weigh you down.
Universe 6 and 2, though, as we all saw, ended up being erased. Our universe, 7, we pulled it off. At what cost? Yeah, but you know what? These universes, I got to give them their credit.
Still stand by that they haven't actually gone. They're not actually erased. They've gone somewhere.
I get that, but that's a whole nother video.
Like stored on a storage drive or something.
I get that. That's a whole nother discussion. The thing about that is that I got to give them props because they kept their integrity the whole way through. They
kept true to who they were.
They weren't salty. They didn't sit there and get mad and get super scared. They accepted their fate. Unlike the previous universes that panicked so hard,
yeah.
Or Frost instantly getting erased because
we kind of all wanted to see that though.
Yeah,
double erase.
He's one I think won't be brought back if they bring these universes back.
I think they will, but
I don't know about Frost.
Could you imagine if Frieza ends up going back to Hell and then he has
Frost to deal with?
Frost as his little plaything?
The thing about it is that I think because of Frieza's participation in this tournament, he'll probably be sent back to the underworld, but not in such harsh conditions as he was before. They'll probably let him have his body, but won't torture him.
This is getting a little dark.
No, we're good. We still got some light. I'm glad. The only thing I was a little salty about is the fact that Champa was just a petty little shit. Not Champa, but Beerus. Beerus is a petty little shit.
I actually have to disagree with you on this one. Okay, first and foremost, I thought that they could have made it a really sad moment and just ripped our hearts out, which I was actually kind of hoping for. I wanted to feel that.
I was too.
But you've got to respect Champa. He didn't break character. He stayed who he was to the moment he was erased. Hey brother, and then just disappears.
Yeah, but
he could have done the classic trope.
Beerus was hurting though, man. Like you
Beerus
could tell.
was hurting, but he could have done the classic trope of "you have to win for me." And we've heard that before. We would have felt that, but he stayed true to Champa.
He did, but I don't know. I kind of expected a little more from Beerus, I guess.
I got exactly from Beerus what I expected. He was solemn. He was keeping himself together, and he said, "Say something." That a lot of people have heard is somebody say something to him or something like that. To me, it was he wasn't really letting him go because he was say something, like egging on. It was like that he kept the banter going even though he was gone. Because Beerus, he knew, if you notice, Beerus couldn't even stand to look at him because he knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, he knew. Yeah, he knew what was coming, and I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just a little heartbreaking. I love the two cats, the two cat gods.
Champa's one of the favorite characters of the series.
Vegeta is nettled. Like, I can't wait to see what this pissed off thing is going to be. He's beyond upset. I haven't seen him be that pissed off since the Saiyan saga.
He said, I'm in a bad mood.